Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Candy Shop. I'm Candace,
And I'm Hannah.
and this is Mimosa Monday, where we talk about either we do show reviews, and even though is that a mimosa that you
This is
drink?
a sangria.
Oh, okay, it looks good. Mine's is just Bacardi and cranberry juice.
Same difference.
Yes, but we will be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 6 from season 13. I guess this was the Giving Peach or something like that. It was titled. I don't know. So starting off, we get you know how they do the quick clips, and so we get a quick clip of Kenya talking to, I guess, a marketing person for her about her hair care line, which I guess she's changing it. I don't know. Um, it'll be interesting to see. The last time I heard about Kenya Moore hair care, they were saying she had water in her products or something like that. So I don't know. No shade to Kenya, but I've never seen her products anywhere. But the first scene,
Sally's.
what you say?
They have them at Sally's Beauty.
Oh, okay. See, I don't go there that too much. But the next scene, the main scene, goes to Cynthia and Mike. They are talking about their guest, and so what do you think about this wedding? And and she sent 250 invites. Kennard, Camille is in the drawer. She sent 250 invites, and she says she has 167 that have confirmed. That's just crazy to me, and I don't know why she thought just because COVID is going on, people are not going to want to come. People are going to want to come, especially if you're inviting them, because they're probably assuming that she's having like a small gathering, and so yeah, Cynthia is, mm,
Crazy.
yeah, very crazy. And then they talk about Dennis, Portia's fiance, and wanting to invite him. I guess Mike is close with him or something like that. I didn't know they were that close. Hmm. That that was interesting. And then the last thing they're talking about inviting Cynthia's father. And so Mike is telling her that he thinks that she should do what's right for her and think about her since this is her wedding. And then I know at the end of the episode they're going to talk more about that. What do you think about that?
Okay, so my thoughts I'll go back to the first part about Cynthia and Mike. Um, there's no reason in a pandemic to invite 250 people, especially 250 people who has been cooped up in the house for months and want something to go to. And figured since it is a pandemic, you're not going to invite 1,000 people. You're going to wait, and I don't even understand. I understand how you feel when you're planning a wedding. I mean, I'm in the middle of planning a wedding, so I understand how you feel, but you have to be cautious and mindful of yourself and someone else. And I just feels like, I mean, they already had the wedding as we saw, but I felt like from the now seeing leading up to the wedding that you knew you already had 167, you should have stopped there. I mean, that was way too many. So I'm not even sure why they even decided to send 250 people. When it came to Cynthia's mom being upset about her father coming, I understand. Okay, if you've been through some things with her mom, he was her dad, you have been abusive. However, he was at the first wedding, so I can see if you haven't saw him since he left at 4 and 3, but you saw him at her first wedding to Peter. He walked her down the aisle, and you had no issue then. Also, she was making it seem like, oh, what memories do you have with your father? And when I'm watching, I'm like, oh wow, he left. Then when I realized she was with him all through the summers, I'm like, you would think that he never saw them when he left. So he left the mom. He didn't leave his kids. So I kind of on a fence only because he was already at her other wedding. Who doesn't want their father to walk them down the aisle? Like, let's be realistic. She was married to meet Peter. She was skeptical, but she did it for love. Now she's actually seemed like she's truly happy with Mike. And why wouldn't you want him there for the happy times when you already was around him at the other wedding? Like, what's the issue?
Exactly, I agree with you, and I'm gonna give my opinion a little later on that when we talk about that scene. But no, I definitely feel for Cynthia. That's her daddy. Regardless of how their relationship is, you always want your father there, and so I understand. And then I want to go to the next thing. Well, she did say this. her mother is kind of upset and not wanting him there because of the whole Kenya PSA thing. So we'll talk about that a little later. The
Girl.
next I know. The next scene goes to Drew's husband or Drew and her husband. Um I wasn't feeling her blonde hair, that wig. I wasn't feeling that. But their scenes are not that interesting. I did like how they let the balloons, they released the balloons for his father. They said through his death, even though it was sad, they've been working on them and they've been able to get closer through that time. So that's good. I'm not understanding what her storyline is though and why she's even on the show, but hey, um
Know why she's there either. I need her to go. She has no point. I mean, for all that, it could give Marlo a peach and make her a cast.
Yeah, and I feel like they're missing some scenes because there was a scene where Drew got smart with somebody, or they were coming for her.
oh,
But I still
right.
have
Where's
yet to see that.
that at? They did a
Yeah,
lot of chopping and editing. So, okay, I must have missed the scene last week because when they redid the backstory and they saw Candy telling Riley that her dad was calling her all types of bees and stuff and like saying money hunger, I don't remember that scene.
that was from the very first episode
Oh,
when they
okay. I
flashed that
skimmed through
back.
that because it was trash. Which I don't understand why. I don't understand Riley's older, but I don't understand why you felt the need to tell her that. But I mean, that's not my relationship with my child, but I felt as though that was way too much for her to be. All she had to do was tell Riley, "Well, I'm not going to be able to get the money from your dad." But all that
Yeah,
other stuff, I just felt like that was just unnecessary.
yeah. But Candy, even though I like Candy this season, usually I don't like her, but I did feel like that was too much to be telling Riley. Like she didn't have to say all that. And moving on to her, talking about Candy, she starts telling the other people about her event, her little makeup people. Oh, hey Kenny.
Hey,
Yes, MLK Day was blacknificent.
yes.
But yes, but with Candy, some of these scenes are just filler scenes and they're just boring. She does mention that she's working with Eva's husband, Michael, in order to get the money back from her, well, the back pay of child support from Block. I don't know. It just seems it does. I agree with him. I don't know if you saw a few months ago he got on the blogs and he was saying he feels like this was a storyline for her. It is starting to appear that way
Mhm.
that it was a storyline for her because that's all she's been talking about, either giving away the groceries or getting the money from her baby daddy, and that's all that it is. So that's all I have to say on that. Then we go to Portia and Cynthia's meetup. All of these scenes are like boring, and I hate to say scenes.
Oh,
All of these scenes are boring. Portia and Cynthia meet up. They talk about Dennis coming. They also talk about Portia still, she says she's over him cheating, but she still feels like she's punishing him because of COVID. She's being a lot snappier with him, having to be around him all the time. And so I guess apparently they got into a large argument and then he moved out from there. I feel like she wants Dennis at the wedding. I don't know why they're making it this big thing. Like, oh, is he coming or not? Is he doing this? Blah, blah, blah. Please don't let him come. But moving along from that. Or what are your thoughts on that?
okay, so my opinion is why do you care? If Mike is friends with him and you were just and you co-parent him, y'all saying y'all in a good place, why does it matter if he come? And I don't like the fact that she put Cynthia on the spot. I was like, well, you need to use your will and use your vagina to make sure that he can't come. Like, first of all, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like that made absolutely no sense. And my thing is, if COVID broke y'all up, why was you so in a rush to marry this man? If COVID was only
Exactly.
10 months, imagine. Well, it is more than that now, but at that time, it was about 10 months in. So at that time, you felt as though that little bit of time together, y'all couldn't stand each other and y'all want to get married. That makes absolutely no sense. And then you see now, like her Instagram now, she was just with him on Christmas and everything. So I really feel like I'm sorry to be honest, and I never side with Kenya, but I really feel like her whole storyline is everything she doing this season is all a storyline. Like when she was talking to Cynthia, she had to just bring up her movement and walking. Like, girl, we're not even talking about you walking out there protesting. We get it. We understand. We are happy that you did it. But why must you always bring that up? It's like that is your storyline for the season. And I feel like she really wasn't sincere in her ex. I could be wrong. And I hate that I'm siding with Kenya because I never do that. But even it's like she has to bring it up with the conversation, just like you said with Candy. That's her storyline. Let's cancel the damn show at this point.
Yeah. I feel like Kenya is a hater though.
But so is Portia though. Because you saw the little snipes Portia was throwing today. Like Kenya made sense. She was like, I don't think it really matters if y'all get along. Well, you could go somewhere with all that. But that it doesn't matter. Like they both throw shade at each other. And they're friends.
Yeah. I don't even think they're friends. I am team Portia though. I'm not I can't stand Kenya.
I can't stand Portia.
She's fake. She's fake. Yeah, I love Portia's like my favorite, and then Candy this season is all right, but I used to love Nene, but I like Portia. I do feel like the movement. I think she brings that up because the producers told her to make that the storyline. It seemed like that's what they wanted to be her storyline because they love taping it like so much. But moving to Candy's event, so all the girls are together except for Latoya and Drew. Drew is never in any of these scenes with the other people, so I'm not understanding why she's even on the show. But I wrote down Kenya still hating on Portia.
I don't believe it's hate, but I'll give you that. I don't believe it's
hate. But and then they talk about how she takes charge. But they're saying, I guess Dennis said Portia can't bring a date. It is interesting that Dennis is inserting himself more into the show a little bit by wanting to come to this wedding. This COVID wedding. Cynthia gets her license, and then Kenya starts giving Portia advice. I did like what Kenya said in that sense, like you like them, when you get some and see you're gonna bust it wide open or whatever she said. That was funny. Then they talk about the donation. Marlo gives $5,000. Kenya is shady again about Marlo giving $5,000. Like Kenya is just shady. And then Drew calls, and she calls Drew stray. But I wanted to say, well, if I was there, I would have said, well, what about Latoya? Isn't she your stray?
She's your stray. She's definitely a stray. But I'm with you. Why is Drew in here? Mm-hmm. I don't come against nobody's marriage, but I even feel like she's in a marriage and he's in a relationship. Like I don't even feel like he's actually in a marriage. He's there. Well, when he don't leave for 3 days.
I feel like their situation could be better if her mother was not living there.
Oh yes, mom gotta go. And why y'all packing your own house? We pack our own house. Why you packing your own house? Y'all got money.
Yeah, maybe they were doing it for the show because you see they were just packing one damn glass at a time. It just looks so like, come on now, this is so staged.
I need her to go. I need
Latoya.
Latoya can go, but I would rather prefer Latoya than her. At least Latoya has something to. I don't like neither one of them, but at least she has something to say. Drew, why are you even present? First of all, I was happy when Eva left because her storyline was trash. But at least Eva was a little bit more entertaining. Like Eva know what to say. I feel like Eva was a bit of a B towards the end of the season, and her what they were saying on the Top Model back then. I feel like it started coming out, and I think that's why she quit the show because people want to see her for who she really is.
Yeah, she wasn't that squeaky queen, America's sweetheart Eva that got selected. Yes, but I rather Fallon come on. I like Fallon.
I like Fallon.
Yeah, she hasn't gotten a lot of scenes. That's who should have. That's who Kenya should have been close with. I'm not understanding the whole Latoya thing. And then that's when Kenya goes into Latoya and her planning a trip for the girls. Which if I was there, I'd be like, I don't want to go.
Bro, we're not going with nobody. It's mid-COVID. We're not going nowhere. I don't care where. I don't know. I don't care how much we take our shots and test it. I'm not gonna ride with your heifers. I see y'all.
Yes.
When enough people are okay, but where they are going to a private house, but they don't stay in a private setting. Like they're always out somewhere when they go on these vacations. So.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I know.
So yeah,
for next week.
Huh?
I said, I know you saw the scene for next week.
Yes, it looks a mess. Did you see that big girl running? Who
Who
was
is
that?
that? I was like, why is Bertha running through here? Who is this? Whips and chains, and it was
Yes.
a lot going on. And then I hear Cynthia saying, I just had to see what his penis looked like. Girl, you know you filming, right?
Yeah.
I know they were saying Kenya lying, but the way them girls were talking and stuff, you can tell they was drunk fools. I don't know what happened, but I
Mm-hmm.
think even Cynthia forgot she was filming.
I agree.
Because I mean, I understand stuff happens at bachelorette parties or whatever, but for you to say that on camera, come on, girl. Come
Yeah,
on.
I don't know. We'll see. You know how these producers edit things though. So we'll see
You're
how
right.
it goes.
You're right. I'll take that account.
But that brings us to the last scene where Cynthia's meeting with her family. And so that's when they start talking about the dead and all that. And so I'm like on the fence with this. I feel like her mother act like she didn't know what a PSA was. Who does not know what a PSA is? But I feel like she did not expect all the backlash that she was going to get from her family and friends. And so she doesn't want the dad there because she's basically embarrassed by doing that PSA. That's really what it boils down to. She doesn't want the father at the wedding because of all the embarrassment, and it is what it is. And then I didn't agree with what Noelle was saying when she was like, "You need to really think about her."
Girl, I was pissed watching Noelle. Like, this is not your mom. This is not your grandma wedding. This is not your father wedding. It's not your wedding. It's only people really got to be there is Cynthia, Mike, whoever's officiating the wedding, and two witnesses. Y'all can stay at hell home, and they still can have a wedding. So for her to be inserting her 2 cents, like, girl, if you don't just, she could have got back on the plane and flew back home for me because she had
Mhm.
something to say.
Yeah. Yes, and she's so grown now. She's 20. And what happened to her going to college? I thought she was going to Howard. Maybe I missed that.
Okay, so it wasn't just me because I was like, when did she drop out of Howard? Because I remember that scene when she was crying and didn't want to leave
Yes.
home, and they took her to Washington. Not
Hmm.
Washington. Yeah. No, Baltimore. Where's Howard? Yeah, Washington.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, they
Washington.
took her to Washington, and she was so scared. And now she like, get off the phone. I gotta make this money. I gotta pay these bills. I gotta do. I'm like,
So I guess she's like a model or something in the beauty industry. Whatever it is working out for her, which she's pretty. Cynthia
she's
has taught
very
her
pretty.
well. Yeah, but it's just like, okay, girl. Like,
You don't have to take
but
a selfies though. While you in the car,
she
you're
that's a child. She's a child. I was gonna say, I've seen them teenagers do that.
that girl. Wow, you just got off the plane. You got the same look. Take them selfies when you changing your outfits.
She wants to document being in Atlanta. That back in the ATL, I could just picture like back in the ATL on her story. But that's it from the show. This episode it was okay. It's more like I'm not gonna call it boring, but it was interesting. Um, I can tell the season is winding down because usually they would have showed like, well, I guess that was the mid-season trailer that they showed afterwards, but it's like what else? What more can they do? I'm just so I am. I'm gonna stop saying that I'm bored. I'm just not impressed. I'll say that with this season of Housewives of Atlanta. It's sometimes it takes everything for me to do these reviews. Like I'm dreading these reviews now. I used to love doing them, but they don't do that. They don't talk about anything. I'd rather do Salt Lake
Yeah.
City because them ladies is crazy.
Ooh, I started watching it.
Yes.
Ooh.
Isn't well my favorite character, even though she is so crazy, is Jen,
I
the
hate
one, the
every
Hawaiian.
with
She's
every
crazy.
part of me. I hate Jen. Like every, and I don't hate people, but like she is the worst
That's
human.
why I like her because she's so crazy.
I mean, she's crazy. But my thing, you're crazy and you're just holding on to the crazy. Girl, it's not that deep. You smell like hospital because you in the hospital all week. What's the issue? You then you said I would have felt some type of way if she said you smell like hospital when you were home in your house.
Yeah.
But you smelled like you smelled like hospital because you were in the hospital all week. And
And
then
she was
you
like, "You're so insensitive."
like, and then you apologize, and she was like, then she lied. Like, don't lie and BS me. She talking about something. I never said that you slept with your
And
grandfather.
she,
You
because she was like,
yelled
she
it.
called me a what did she say? A grandfather, mother effer.
Yeah, but you yelled it out and then blatantly looked me in my eyes and
Yeah.
lied. Like, well, I never said that. Girl,
No, she was like, she's effing her
yes,
grandfather.
and then you lied. Girl, don't lie to my face.
Yes. And Mary is a weirdo though too. I don't like her. She's weird. I'm sorry. And she can't dress. All
She
that
can't
money,
dress. Her
all
house
that
is a
money in
mess.
them fashions, and she can't even put them together right. And she looks like a old grandma. Like I just imagine her smelling like Bengay and peppermints or something.
And what's that white diamond?
Yes, white diamond. Yes.
And oh my god! All right, I'm not shaming nobody's body, but I did not know her husband was that bad built. Cause usually they show his face, and then when they went in the scene, I was like, what is going on here?
Yes. You
I,
you talking about
it was
Mary?
more
Yeah.
entertaining to me than Atlanta this season.
Oh yeah.
I feel
I,
like Atlanta is pulling for a story. It's time to end it.
yeah. It's ran its course.
But there's
So
Black Housewives release, so I don't think they're going to end it because of that.
I don't know. I you know that he ends franchises when he wants to.
Yeah,
I think he gets a lot of if well he Andy said he's not the executive producer, but I thought he was, and it
Andy has
seems
a
like
lot of say so for all the housewives.
yeah. And he
Andy
ever since
bye.
he got the backlash from Potomac, and now he's trying to act like, oh, I don't do that. I'm completely hands off. Like you're right, Andy.
Boy, bye. And I'm sick of Potomac too, but we'll see next season. But
I know without Monique, I wonder how it's gonna be.
it's
And I
no
heard
show about Monique.
I heard Karen Huger wasn't coming back, and if she doesn't come back, I don't know if I'll
I'm
watch.
not watching it.
I can't watch the Green Eyed Bandits or whatever they be calling
I
them.
okay. I would still watch it if Karen was there because Karen's my favorite.
Yeah, she's my
It was
favorite too.
Monique and then Karen. Before
Yeah.
Monique came, it was Karen.
Hmm.
I never liked Sharice because she just seems like she's trying to be bougie, and I
Yeah.
like
Well,
you're
I didn't like
trying
her
to
because her husband was never on there, and then I don't know if you remember the first season she rapped at her birthday party or something.
Bars was trash.
She was whacked in that
Trash.
relationship. Yes.
Ashley and her swinging door husband. I don't got time for none of them.
So,
Karen's
I mean, they were entertaining at times, but I liked it when Monique came and gave. I used to. That was when I used to like Giselle. Giselle used to be my favorite character, but now I don't like Giselle. She's a nasty, nasty light skinned lady with that her mouth. I don't like her. She showed her ASS. I don't want to cuss, but she showed her ASS on that reunion, and I just lost respect for her, especially since she's trying to be a first lady. So I'm not even.
Why
Mm-mm.
was Ala Barton here?
Who?
She had her Ala Barton security
Oh
stand up,
yeah,
like, sir, why is he here?
and he didn't even do nothing. He looked like he was scared of
He
Monique's.
looked like he was scared of Monique's husband too, because Monique's husband looked like he was knock him out. Like
Yeah.
this is unnecessary. And another thing is about Giselle, you trying to be the first lady again, whatever. You need to act like it.
Mm-hmm.
You have no. The only time she act like it when she was trying to get the girls together and talk, and every time I forget what happened, but it was like season 2 or whatever when Candace got into it with Ashley or whatever. That time she was actually trying to act like a first lady and try to resolve a situation. Outside of that, or when she had her book signing and she was talking about her book. Outside of that, you are a nasty woman, pretty on the
Mm-hmm.
outside, but very ugly filled in the inside. And I think she thinks because of her looks, she can get away with this stuff. But you cannot get. That's why you damn near 50 and still single because your
Mm-hmm.
attitude is nasty. Nobody's
Yeah,
putting up with that.
it's very nasty. So
And
that's
Robin,
all I have to say. What you say?
Robin has no backbone.
I'll be forgetting about Robin. And then I guess her storyline next season is gonna be, I guess, her wedding. That's never gonna happen.
Oh, oh, and that's never gonna happen. All right, now.
I
You
don't
don't
know. I
think
think
so?
he did the engagement because it looked good, but you see, he was not at the reunion to support her.
He was
Uh,
not. But neither was Ashley's husband.
he he didn't want to come to the reunion because he was probably getting tired of them accusing him of being gay, and he probably knew that they was going to show the clip of him touching somebody's booty again. So,
Again, but I mean, I thought Robin. I'm gonna be honest. I thought Robin was bisexual when I first saw this. When I first saw
yes,
her,
she looks very athletic. She looks like she used to play sports. I just thought she played sports or something. But when I first saw her, I thought she was a white lady. And then when she was like, both of my parents are black, I was like, oh, okay, girl,
okay,
sorry.
something, girl, bye.
Yes. I don't get the lesbian vibe from her. She just seems like a tomboy. Like, and
I get both,
yeah. So
and
I
I think
don't know.
mine is messing with Ashley's husband, but whatever.
I do too. In Vegas. Like you said, he wanted to go to
Right?
Vegas.
Why are y'all in Vegas together?
Hmm. Exactly.
Y'all don't even know each other that well, or do you?
Mm.
And then when he
Well,
got so angry, he was angry when he found
yeah.
out he was proposing. Like he was hurt, like somebody was cheating on him.
That's why he got drunk and acted a ASS. He acted a donkey at that party. So,
He did. Wow, he did.
mhm,
You right.
that's what I thought. But we're gonna end it here. I want to keep this one short. I'm gonna try to record a story time tonight and post it. So if you see me, I know. If you see me
He's
in
been
this
waiting
shirt,
for weeks.
I know. I just have not felt like doing them, but I'm in the mood to do one. I'm gonna gather my thoughts and get it together.
I'm gonna do mine and send it to you one day.
Yes, please do. I'm gonna edit it and post it. Please do. I have several friends that have story times they want to submit, and I'm all for it. Oh, and it's oh my goodness. Remember that inbox I showed you of a friend of mine? I would,
Yes.
but I cannot put that out there at all, at all. But that
Now
would
that's
be a
the
good.
whole story time. Girl, you might need Henny for that story time.
I know, but my husband wanted me to put that out there, but I'm like, no, she was actually a friend of mine, and I cannot do that without her consent. Yeah. But all right, that was it. This was fun. Yes, thank you for joining me again, Hannah.
Of
Any final remarks on anything?
No, I just hope everybody's safe because this is the last week of Mr. Trump.
Oh, I didn't mean to laugh.
Let the applause begin for me. But
Yes.
that's all I got to say.
Yes, he is out the door. Dump Trump. He's out the door. So thank you all for joining Mimosa Mondays. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the Candy Shop. Again, I am Candace.
I'm Hannah.
We are signing off. Good night.